Welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Allie Wilkins. I am an oracle. I'm a teacher of the ancient feminine. I'm a priestess. And today we're going to talk about attracting more masculine men and what this means for us in terms of what we have to do in our own life to make this happen. And my friends have told me so many times, like, Allie, you've got to talk to people about the experiences that you've had doing this, because I've had some just really interesting, nuanced, like very, very clear ways that this has showed up for me in my own life, progressing with each person that I've experienced in my life romantically. And so we're going to talk about a little bit of that without me, sharing my whole like romantic history. So the first thing a lot of us will ask is one of two things. One will say, I really want my man to be more spiritual. And this is sort of the same time period as you've either had some sort of awakening, or you've had an experience where you are seeing that you are perhaps more expansive than your partner. It could be in terms of your vision, in terms of your ambition, or it could just be in terms of like your spiritual understanding, or what you're able to experience in the spiritual realm. And sometimes we think that we want a man to be able to match us. This is going to be for male-female relationships. I'm not sure if this would be, it'll be the same thing based on the feminine-masculine polarity, whoever it is that you're attracted to, whether it's a man, woman, etc. So a lot of times that's our first thing. I want them to be more spiritual. And if you want to be in the feminine pole, I can promise that you're not going to want a man that is more spiritual than you, or that is even approaching your amount of spirituality. And what I mean by that is the spiritual nature is feminine in its essence. So if you're attracting a man who is more spiritual, not necessarily more spiritual than you, but just more spiritual than what you're used to, they are most likely going to be more feminine. And that is not what you're actually asking for if you want to be in the feminine pole. That means that you would naturally have to go into the masculine pole. So you're not going to be happy with that. Sometimes we need to experience it. This is from what I experienced myself. That's what I thought that I wanted. And then I realized when I was with someone that I experienced that with, of like, oh, I don't feel safe with this person. I don't feel grounded. I feel like we're both in these airy fairy realms, and I need someone. I always use the example of like, if no one is holding the end of a balloon, it's going to fly off. And we have to make sure that our own masculine energy is able to hold that. But in partnership, one person will hold the feminine polarity and one person will hold the masculine. Always. That is just the law of nature. So if you want to be holding the feminine pole, you might want to reevaluate the question of, or the desire of, I want him to be more spiritual. Because it's not really what you think it is. The masculine in his essence is grounded. He is physical and practical and logical, and he is more linear. The feminine is expansive and boundless and much more spiritual. So that's just one observation that I found, that I think a lot of spiritual women say. And then from that point, sometimes women, after having a lot of different experiences, will be like, okay, well now I really want to be with a man who is more masculine. And in order to do that, you have to really hold the feminine pole in the relationship. The more that you are doing that, the more masculine men will show up to you with. The more masculinity men will show up to you with. Now, this could happen in a relationship over time where you really notice the ways that you are not holding the feminine pole, you unlearn all of those things, and you really stand in that energy. And your partner might naturally just shift into holding more masculine energy. However, some men and this would probably go for women as well, they're like, no, like, I'm actually not going to do that. This is what I want to hold. And I think a lot of women who have been in the dating experience have recognized that, like, some men don't want to be in the masculine. They might act like they do, or especially in the spiritual community, they might know the lingo, but their actions and their behaviors are actually holding more of the feminine frequency. So even if you hold the feminine pole, there might be like a fight between who gets to hold the masculine and who gets to hold the feminine, because they're actually not willing to let you be in that position because they want to be in it. So then it's like, okay, well, this relationship isn't going to work if you really want to be in the feminine pole. Then from that point forward, you get to learn to hold that more in a more deeply embodied way. And from that, you are going to experience more and more masculine men coming into your space. So for me, what I've experienced is basically recognizing, hey, I'm holding the masculine pole. How do I unlearn these behaviors from watching the women in my family hold that? And so I learned those mechanisms from them, from our society itself. I had to spend a good amount of time unlearning how I was putting myself in that position. And then I also had to recognize and learn, how do I hold the feminine pole? And who is it safe for me to hold the feminine pole with? Do I trust the person that I'm with to be able to guide me in their masculine? Is their masculine strong enough for me? The next phase of that was being, experiencing someone who, like, we were both fighting for both positions. We were both fighting for the feminine position. Then realizing, okay, I get to hold more of my feminine polarity so that I can start to attract someone who really is more masculine in their nature without me having to ask them to do certain things or be certain ways. That's just their automatic response. That's just how they naturally show up. And then from that point, understanding, okay, masculinity also comes with, when someone's really holding a much more grounded aspect of masculinity, that also can come with a different set of shadows or a different set of things for me to learn to be aware of. Because for me, I have a very strong masculine presence. Like, I'm very balanced in my masculine and feminine. So, and just my masculine properties are very strong. So whoever I'm personally with has to have a stronger masculine presence than me, or they're going to be intimidated by that. They're going to feel threatened by that, or they're going to feel inadequate in comparison to that. And these have been my actual experiences. And, so I've recognized for myself, I have to be with someone who their masculine presence is far stronger than mine, so that there's like, I actually feel safe in being led by them. I actually trust their vision and their ability to guide me. Like, I can just take a little rest. My masculine will always be there, but I trust their masculine to guide me, right? So this is progression. I want to say, like, this is the progression. The more that you hold your feminine frequency, the more you learn to unlearn all of those overcompensation tactics of the masculine. By that, what I mean is, the more that you learn where you are overcompensating with masculine energy and stop doing that and just let yourself lean back into the feminine and open more into the feminine, which can be opening to the Venusian energy of that magnetism, the radiance, the softness, the surrender, the, that appreciation energy, or it could be opening into Kali. The feminine is a full range. It's not just that, like, sweet, radiant, magnetic, alluring, enchanting, I already said magnetic. It's not just those qualities. It's the full range of the feminine spectrum. The more you're able to lean into all of that, which typically starts with the Venusian energy, that's kind of the entryway into the feminine, the more you're able to lean into that, the more masculine men you're going to be able to attract in your life. So, in short, without giving too many details, that's been my experience in trying to attract more masculine men. And I've noticed every person that I've attracted into my field has become more and more masculine over the years, as I have become more feminine myself and more open to that energy within myself. And with that, I want to share with you something that I'm offering to help you with this. This is a profound program. I'm so excited for it. It's called Full Spectrum Feminine. This is really teaching all the work that I've done myself through working with so many different goddesses, working with the astrological cycles, working with the archetypes of the feminine, and so many other things as well. The culmination of that over the last 4 years, specifically as I've been intensely focusing on this, into a year-long experience where every month we are working with a different archetype, a different goddess, different astrological elements, and we are putting all of our energy into that archetype to practice that embodiment. This is going to help us to deepen in our understanding of that archetype, and some of them will come really easily to you, and you'll be like refining, and then some of them are going to be like, whoa, this is an edge. Like, I've never really played with this before. I haven't practiced this. It's uncomfortable. It's stretchy for me. It's a challenge. I'm awkward at this. It doesn't matter. That, like, the deepening is so potent and powerful. And so throughout a year, we're going to go through 12, really 13 of these different archetypes. And you can experience this as a self-study experience, which in Full Spectrum Feminine, I'm calling the citrine option. There's another option called the lotus option, which is the sisterhood route, which I think is always the best way to go. Because we're in a group experience for the whole year. There's a Voxer chat. We can talk all the time. And there's also one live call per month. So it's not like super intensive, like we're meeting every week. Because that would be a lot in a year-long period. But we are meeting once a month for a sister circle. And this is just really a space designated for us to play with these different frequencies, for us to really get to explore and expand and deepen and challenge ourselves in holding new aspects of each of these embodiments. This is the work I've been doing, and it has changed my life dramatically. I'm so much more expansive than I have been in prior years because of this work. And so I cannot wait. The people who have already joined this space are wonderful and profound. And the reason I think that the sisterhood aspect of this is so potent is because each of us naturally hold different archetypes with ease. And so we're going to be able to reflect different things to each other, give each other different ways of seeing some of the archetypes, support each other when we're challenged, share with each other what our learnings are and what our takeaways are as we're moving through this process. And after being with each other for a year, you're probably going to make some really great new friends, and at minimum have deep connection with other women. This in itself is so incredibly healing. So I'd love to invite you into the space. This year, we're closing the sisterhood portion on January 17th. So if you want to join us, make sure that you join before then, or you can send me an email if you're like a few days late or something and you really want to join it. But doors are closing on the 17th. You can also join the self-study version as well if you're like, I just want to do the curriculum by myself. The curriculum every month includes a video teaching I'll be offering that really will speak to our mental understanding of each archetype, of the goddesses, of all of the like psychological aspects that I'm including in this. And then I create these like really deep, thorough, profound workbooks to get more specific into the teachings and to really bring all of that information into your physical life, to begin embodying it, to look at what are the stories that are here, what are the patterns and programs from my family that I've learned that prevent me from going into this. What scares me about this? What am I great at about this? What am I already masterful in? How can I refine it? And there will be questions for each archetype that specifically help you find these different things. The workbooks I make are like profound, no big deal, pat on my back. So that's really to bring in the embodiment aspect. Then there's also an Akashic records journey to bring in more of the etheric realm, to help you open and expand your light body to be able to hold some of these frequencies on a larger level in your life. Also to receive guidance from your own support team as you're learning to embody these different things. There might be some blocks in your field, or some fears or some things you struggle with that your guides can help you with on a one-on-one basis, that you can receive through just listening to the Akashic journey that I'll be offering. And then, like I said, if you join the sisterhood experience, there's a Voxer chat so we can share whenever we feel called, whatever it is that's coming through for us. And there's also one sister circle every month on the third week of the month around the full moon, so that we can just go deeper and deeper into this as sisters. So I'm so excited for this offering. If you're interested, I'll have the link in the details below. You can always email me with any questions, but we're starting soon. If you're seeing this at another time, you can always join the self-study version, or get on a wait list for the next year. So anyways, I'm super, super excited about this space. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, if you got something out of it, please leave a thumbs up. Please let me know your takeaways, your thoughts, your comments. And yeah, to becoming our most powerful, full spectrum feminine selves, working with the full spectrum of femininity, not just the aspects that have been popularized, but all of them, learning how to embody all of those, to be in our greatest power as women and in our feminine frequency, and to attracting beautiful, powerful, masculine men. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.